that boy better start kicking that habit because he gonna have it bad in church. Y'all thought Suge Knight was passing out and shit in the courtroom. Man, when they go, if he hooked on drugs like that, that nigga gonna be in there throwing up. He gonna be like going through withdrawals. He ain't gonna be able to go to court. And that's gonna be a sad, sad day. So if I can tell you anything, Diddy, man, you going to prison if you don't off yourself or go to, go over there with your boy Russell. So, or a country that is like Russell that doesn't extradite. But so you going to prison. So dog, before worrying about all of this stuff, you better kick that habit. Cause I seen niggas just for a day or two, how they were acting when they be going through those withdrawals. And bro, you gonna be hurting. You ain't gonna be able to help with your defense. You gonna be looking bad in front of that judge when he ain't gonna give you a bail. And so, bro, that would be my advice to you, man. Start getting that. Go check yourself into rehab real quick, because if any of that's true, you obviously have a bad drug habit, and when you're going through withdrawals and stuff like that, you cannot concentrate on fighting your freedom and all of that. All you worried about is getting that fix. And so I heard those statements, I heard that, but I hope that's not true. But if he got it bad like that, he gonna have it bad in there. And bro, you got about 3 to 4 months, about 3 months to get yourself right. So I know you right now, and you're talking to lawyers and trying to figure this out and buy everybody off and stuff, and take care of stuff, which, hey, that's your prerogative. But just in case those things don't work out, go get yourself clean, bro. Check yourself into a program real quick. Because if you don't, it's going to be hard in prison. And not prison, in jail. Because they don't give a fuck about you in there. And the guards that they going to have around you is not going to be the type of guards that you can buy off. And that's going to be having you accessible to those the motherfuckers that don't care that you can't buy and get to, because they know people in your position and have money like you, will slide them something. You're not going to have access to inmates and stuff like that to slide you something. You're going to have it rough in there, bro. A lot of people think guys that snitches, well, not snitches, but guys that, go to jail and all that, people going to look out and all of that for you. They keep you away from them. You're going to be isolated.
With all the allegations coming out against Diddy, a lot of people, like Reggie Wright, believe that his days are numbered and it's only a matter of time before he's convicted of all the charges and put behind bars.
What happens here is that the federal government started a case with him. Apparently the search warrant that had his houses in Miami and LA was pre-planned already. They knew they were going to do that. So they have a much bigger case. Right now with the guns, they're going to check them. They're going to trace them, see if they were used in any crimes. They're going to go over anything about cooperators that are cooperating with them. They're going to be talking to a lot of people about certain criminal acts that he might have committed, and then go from there.
And what about the videos?
Well, they're going to sift through those videos. They're going to look at them and then see if there's any criminality on those videos, and then they'll go from there.
So what do you think? I mean, it just seems like the house of cards might fall for Diddy right now.
It's not looking that great. Right now, I know that he has higher-powered attorneys, and
right.
With all these allegations that are coming out against him and against other people, a lot of people are starting to be very nervous about what's
Now, with all the evidence mounting up against the guy, his chances of not only going to prison are increasing, but it looks like anybody associated with him might be in hot water too. You know what they say about rats sticking together on a sinking ship, man? They're all going to drown.
So, it looks like 50 Cent finally got answers to the questions everyone is asking now, aka, where on earth is JayZ when his bestie, especially JayZ? Well, according to 50 Cent, it makes sense that JayZ has pulled a disappearing act, because if you think the feds have dirt on Diddy, just wait until you find out how much worse JayZ is. And y'all know how Sean Carter is? You could never ever catch him slacking. But what we're wondering is, if it's bad enough that the JayZ had to go into hiding, just how deep does questions? A day after Diddy's homes got raided, 50 shared a photo of JayZ JayZ on a milk carton with the caption, "Anybody seen Jay? Puff said he ain't answering his phone, LOL." Then he shared another post with a photo of JayZ waving, captioned, "Here is JayZ last reported seen waving at Puffy Jet." I'm not even gonna lie. It's crazy that JayZ has left Diddy hanging because everything seemed cool when Diddy used to host all those all-white parties that JayZ and Beyonce used to attend all the time. And what happened to all those times Diddy and Jay have been all suited up, drinking champagne and toasting?
One of the people that everybody thinks is next on Homeland Security's hit list is none other than JayZ. Considering how close he is to Diddy, it ain't no big surprise there. I mean, this dude's been super quiet since all these allegations came out against Diddy, which is pretty surprising, not to mention sus AF.
In this video 50 recently shared, he was trolling both JayZ and Diddy because Jay ain't picking up the phone. And really, the only reason why JayZ wouldn't be picking up the phone at this point is that he's trying to keep a low profile and not draw too much attention to himself. That's why, like I said earlier, 50 Cent was trying to get his hands on the tapes that were seized from Diddy's home raids, because it'll probably have evidence of JayZ involved in some criminal things with Diddy. I mean, Jaguar Wright did say recently that Diddy has allegedly turned over tapes of JayZ and Beyonce participating in freak-off sessions with Diddy. The reason why that's not such a stretch is that, as y'all know, Diddy has been seen hanging out with JayZ and Beyonce too many times to count. Like, they really are thick as thieves. But I guess Diddy really fumbled by taking those tapes and even threatening to use them as leverage if things go south.
Why all gotta leave it to 50 Cent to troll every single rapper in the industry, and he ain't going to let JayZ get away with not being a victim of his trolling. According to him, some of the videotapes seized from P's residence could have incriminating evidence against JayZ on them too, because when Diddy recorded everybody, man, he recorded everybody.
With him, anything's possible. He collects women. He lays with men.
JayZ lays with men.
Of course he does. You know, I think the oddest thing in the world is looking at videotapes of him having sex with another man and watching him and knowing how so comfortable.
You know who else I was told, and she won't. She
And
like
I'm
her
not
lawyer.
saying allegedly.
I understand.
And
I
I will
understand.
not list the name of my source.
I
But
don't listen to my
yes,
sources
I
either.
have seen Sean Carter having sex with another man.
You saw that.
Someone I know. Someone that's, because I know what they do to these guys. They get them drunk, they keep them drunk. They get them high, they keep them high. They break the stats and circumstances. You
Wow.
give somebody enough of something, and see,
Yeah.
they're there to videotape it all. Just like that guy caught Justin Bieber on his knees.
Literally.
That's how it works. And then they take that and they use it for ransom. A third of the men that I know that got victimized, they didn't even remember it happened.
I
So they
was.
saw the tape.
Yeah. I was also told about a situation where a guy woke up and he could not walk because his ass was just in pain.
You can't tell me that's not demon possession.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that. What would make you want to take something so beautiful and turn it into something so vile? Human connection, regardless of what your orientation, is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
What kind of grown man justifies essaying a young man like Usher to the point where he has to be taken to the...
Jaguar Wright has always been the most vocal about men like Diddy and JayZ in the industry. Now, the stuff that she's heard about JayZ and him assaulting minors is just nasty and gross to hear.
He might already be in contact with the feds to see about covering his tracks and getting rid of anything that links him to Diddy. Now, what's interesting about all this is that people have been speculating for some time now that JayZ is going to be the next to be exposed after they're done with Diddy. When YouTuber Storm Monroe talked about it a few weeks ago, it seemed like he was just hating, but it looks like everything that was predicted is now coming to pass.
And it looks like JayZ is willing to do anything to keep his dark side under wraps, even if it means snitching on Diddy to the feds. That kind of makes you wonder what kind of skeletons the dude's got in his closet.
It was rumored back in 2010 that Kathy White allegedly was JayZ's mistress. Now, Kathy was a socialite in Hollywood. She was a publicist, a health and fitness expert, and she was a model. She ran in different social circles, and she was friends with Claudia. It was rumored by Hollywood Street King that she allegedly had an affair with JayZ. Now, when I went back to see the actual article, it's no longer available, but Rhymes with Snitch actually reposted it. And in this article, it said there's a juicy little rumor bubbling under right now claiming JayZ is boning one of Claudia Jordan's homegirls, a chick named Kathy Karina White. According to Diary of Hollywood Street King, Jay's been smashing for a while. Enlarge this picture and you could just make out Kathy and Claudia standing just to the left of Jay, too close for someone not in his inner circle. Sips. This rumor about Kathy and JayZ being together started back in September of 2010. Fast forward a year later, Kathy mysteriously passed, and it was said that she passed away from an aneurysm, but some people don't believe that was the true cause of.
And it ain't just this either. Why all remember Kathy White, JayZ's alleged mistress who died and was rumored to be pregnant with his kid. Rumor has it that JayZ had something to do with her death.
HSK exclusive. HSK was the first to reveal that 28-year-old Kathy White was JayZ's mistress. Don't believe me? Ask Claudia Jordan. Yesterday, I got the news that Kathy Michelle White had suddenly passed away. So I quickly began my investigation, and guess what? Kathy did not die from a brain aneurysm as reported widely around the internet today. According to an NYPD detective who told me, Kathy's cause of death is uncertain, and later today we'll have the autopsy and toxicology reports. Right now, the death is considered suspicious. Kathy White died exactly 1 year to the day from when I broke the story of her and JayZ's affair. Here's exactly what the NYPD told me. A 911 call came in from an apartment on 130 West 19th Street in Manhattan. Ambulance came and took Kathy because she was sick. They took her to the Beth Israel Hospital, and that's where she expired. It was too early to be speculating that an aneurysm killed her. They'll be doing an autopsy later today to check out her cause of death. But someone might have given Kathy a bad drug, so they'll do a toxicology, and we'll have to wait 2 weeks for that report. Wait, there's more. 2 weeks prior to her death, Kathy was contacted by a major tabloid that was investigating the JayZ connection. She gave them little information to go on, but according to one of our sources, following her conversation with the tabloid, she called Jay and told him that she was going to go public with their affair for a price. This all happened in the last 2 weeks. Then, a little more than 48 hours after the announcement that Beyonce was pregnant with JayZ's baby, this young lady suddenly dies under suspicious circumstances. Now, it was rumored that Kathy was also pregnant, and she allegedly was pregnant with JayZ.
According to some articles, the authorities didn't know what the cause of her death was, but they speculated that she might have been drugged.
According to 50 Cent and other industry.
In recent years, there have been numerous allegations surrounding JayZ's alleged interference in artists' careers, and Chris Brown is now stepping forward to validate these claims. He alleges that JayZ had him sidelined due to his relationship with Rihanna, but not for the reasons commonly assumed. According to Chris, Rihanna was unfaithful to him with JayZ and purportedly transmitted a sexually transmitted infection to him that she had contracted from JayZ. As Jaguar Wright has said,
JayZ gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown. Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started fucking with her and signed her to Def Jam.
Persistent rumors have circulated for an extended period suggesting a clandestine affair between Rihanna and JayZ, with implications that Chris Brown was privy to this information. This speculation traces back to 2009 when Chris Brown pleaded guilty to assaulting Rihanna, alleging that she had transmitted herpes to him. The narrative surrounding these events is complex and far-reaching. Chris Brown said, "She gave me herpes. And then when I threatened to file a lawsuit against her for not telling me she was infested with genital blisters, she began to hit herself in the face and throw herself against the walls just as Jim Carrey did in the movie Liar Liar," he claims. "Then she turned around and blamed me for the matter as a form of punishment." This is an intriguing development, especially considering the long-standing rumors about JayZ and Rihanna's involvement in some capacity. These rumors circulated widely in the late 2000s and early 2010s, but Rihanna consistently denied any intimate involvement with JayZ, emphasizing that their relationship was purely about music. At the time, her publicist even took responsibility for spreading the false information, attributing it to a strategy to boost. Now Chris is alleging that it's all a cover-up, as both JayZ and Rihanna were reportedly going to great lengths to squash the rumors of an affair due to the potential fallout it could cause for them.
I didn't want her knowing my business too. I just didn't know who she would tell if I tell her what I'm doing, you know?
Even worse, Chris is also alleging that JayZ allegedly coerced him into perpetuating the narrative that he was the one cheating on Rihanna, despite her alleged infidelity. According to Chris, JayZ didn't want the public to know that Rihanna had allegedly been unfaithful to him because it would inevitably lead back to JayZ himself. Reportedly, Chris Brown hints that there's more to his story than meets the eye. For instance, when Chloe Bailey faced backlash for collaborating with Brown on her song How Does It Feel, he expressed frustration, asserting that people still hold his past mistakes against him from when he was 17. He pointed out the hypocrisy in the entertainment industry, where violent content is often embraced as entertainment while he faces constant scrutiny. Brown also called out the lack of accountability for white artists who engage in problematic behavior. In a pointed remark, he alluded to someone in the industry who has been romantically linked to younger women and is married to a much younger woman, implicitly referring to JayZ, whose relationship timeline with Beyoncé has raised.
Puff. Were you surprised, and what was your initial thoughts when you first seen the lawsuit filed?
When the lawsuit was filed, my initial thoughts on that whole thing is that it was based on because she has some celebrity status. You know, I've gotten calls from two different women who told me that they were trying to press charges against Puff and wanted to come on my platform and tell the people what he done to them. And they said they couldn't get lawyers to take it. Now you got lawyers willing to take anything anybody has to say. Our justice system is messed up, brother, because if you ask those ladies who are coming out now, they probably tried to get a lawyer to take it long time ago, but they wouldn't because of the powers that be. Now that Puff is losing that power, lawyers are willing to go to court and try to get money from him, from their clients and what people are saying in that industry that have done things, and people can't get lawyers to go to bat for them.
Yeah, there's been a long list of other celebrities since this happened that it came out, and a lot of other celebrities started to get sued. You know, what do you think about that list? And, you know, is there anything there that you've heard about?
Well, I've heard about a couple of things, but you got to realize is that it's what they can prove. You know, like with this Weinstein thing, you know, Weinstein, just take Jimmy Iovine for example. Jimmy Iovine got a lawsuit, but you don't see it on the news. Why? Why you don't see it on the news? People have been coming out saying things that he said that he did to them, but because his publicists and the people that be is not allowing that to go down on him. Puff did some things to some powerful people that they're calling in their friends and everything, and everybody's taking their hands off of him. So now he's no longer the altar boy, and he's not in their club anymore. Did you hear him on Jimmy Kimmel? He said, yo, I thought we was friends. Jimmy Kimmel knew he wasn't supposed to ask Puff anything about me.